Hello everyone. So I just wanted to make a quick video showing how a 90s Evinrude Outboard gearbox works and kind of how the gear shifting works. I have another previous video of this, but it shows a 1969 motor. It's essentially the same, but this way you can actually see the slight difference between the two. Now, here I have the outboard clutch, or the shift dog. Essentially this shifts, it's not that easy to shift, but it goes from forward, that's reverse, neutral, and forward. Now this is all you're doing when you shift the motor, essentially with the controls above. There's nothing else that happens, and the only thing that kind of makes this makes it kind of hard and it doesn't shift smoothly are these three little balls. You can see it right in here, but when you go to another gear, see, you no longer see a little ball because they're now inserted, which is why when you bring it back to neutral, it's easy. Then you hear it click back into place. This is why when it's in neutral, it kind of clips in, and to get it out, it requires just a little bit of force, which kind of makes that sound. This is why when you shift, it's doing this. And essentially the way it works, it's really simple. This is the exact piece here, just taken apart. Now, you're moving this in and out, and the shift dog, it sits right here, and it uses a simple pin to just push it in and out. And this just inserts, and it works just like that. So it's the same as here, but obviously there's no click because I do not have the three little balls in here. Now I have the little balls right here. What you do is essentially insert them into this hole, and then when they're in there, I'm trying to get that spring, this little spring, you put this inside, but there's a little spring in there that keeps the little balls tight. This way, when you slide it in, they pop out of this hole, but they don't come out all the way, and when you move it out, they pop back in. Now, if you were to remove these balls, essentially the gearbox would still work, but it wouldn't give you that nice shift and kind of knowing feeling that you're in neutral. That way, when it popped into neutral, there's no mistake. It's not slightly off, it's perfectly in neutral, and then you pop it into reverse or forward. And this is essentially it. The only thing that keeps this pin inside the shift dog is kind of a spring that fits around this. It's a very simple mechanism. And the shift cradle, this little piece right here, this is what the actual shift rod itself connects to. So it goes into these little holes. So when you move the entire lever up or down, it is able to move the end of this. Now this is where the screw goes into on the back of the gearbox that allows it to pivot. So this is what kind of gives it that pivot. But that's it, and it's literally just a couple pieces, and the cradle just fits right on the back. There's nothing really holding it in place. It fits into a little cavern in the back of the gearbox, which is how it's held in place. But this is the entire mechanism. It's really not that different from the 1960 or 1970 model, but it's a little more refined, and it's even easier to take apart in some ways.